Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. It's Alexis with Create Your Future. I am back with a brand new video today, focusing on how to manifest being pursued and being the one who is chased and adored by your specific person, if that just so happens to be something that you're manifesting. Before I get started, though, like always, the links for booking one-on-one coaching, one-on-one hypnosis, and also all of my courses, pre-recorded hypnosis audios are all in the box below. Okay. So I am choosing this as a topic because it's something that clients of mine, and I just think in general, people that are reworking themselves, manifesting relationships, oftentimes it's something that I realize that most people are wanting, who are consciously recreating relationships in general. So this might be you if you have had relationships in the past where you felt like you were the one who was chasing, you felt like you were pursuing, and then you come to realize and find out that that's actually not the dynamic that you want with anyone, and it really isn't what you want with a specific person. Now, the client I'm going to be referencing today, she is a success story, but it's like bullet points about what she's going through. I'm going to use her as an example, just like, because it's something I've also heard from a lot of people starting out the year, and then I'll often say something like I said to her, like, oh, okay, but it boil down to you want him to pursue you, you want him to chase you, right? Even though let's take out the chasing phrase, because what you want is energetic pursuit, to be chosen, to be consistently loved and adored and unconditionally accepted and loved by your specific person, even in the face of things happening, even in the face of an argument, even in the face of a communication issue, or even in the face of life just happening, right? You want, and most of us want, to be unconditionally accepted and loved and chosen, like consistently by the person that they adore and love and that they've chosen also. Okay. I want to say too that if you have the pattern of chasing and pursuing when you love someone and it doesn't resonate with you anymore, I want you to ask yourself, what activates you to chase and pursue? Now, a lot of people that I speak to, they end up chasing and pursuing, going after love, hunting it down, making it happen, manipulating things, asking a lot of questions, over-explaining themselves, undervaluing themselves, and under-expecting from a person because of three things: anxiety, worry, and fear. Okay, so it just so happens, of course, that the client that I'm referencing, she had that. So it was almost like she would, and it happened with multiple guys in her past, and it was also happening with her specific person, is that she would like them. They'd be coming in hot, right? Calling, texting, FaceTiming, DMing, whatever it is people do. And then when she would decide that she liked them, it would be like crickets. Like everything would sort of stop or everything would go on mute. Now, this is also something I see with people that are manifesting someone back. And when they initially come back, the person is like that, but then it kind of dissipates. Okay. So first of all, the first thing we want to do, if this is you, if this is your pattern, if this resonates with you, is, like always, taking ownership for the whole thing, taking ownership of the dynamic and what you create from inside of you that just so happens to replicate it outside of you in your reality, because it's ingrained in your subconscious mind is what's really going on. It's a pattern that came from somewhere, some way, or it just got reiterated over and over again through multiple people, or it's all that you think is possible, right? So it becomes your pattern and the mechanism of the model that you are, like your model for love. If we go for some integrative psychology, NLP language, it's your model for love is someone likes me, I kind of like them. Once I love them, once I'm into them, they ghost me, they go away, they're on mute, they leave me on red. You guys, am I saying that right? For a while, I thought it was they left me unread, but now I actually saw it somewhere. It's on red. I'm going to look it up on Google. Fun fact. I didn't know what that meant. But if that's you, right? If like basically when you like someone that they stop, what are you really doing within? You want to take ownership, first of all, for all of it and be like, oh, I'm just going to have total awareness and unconditional acceptance for my pattern that's within me. It has nothing to do with them outside of you. what I've heard from people recently too in one-on-one sessions is, okay, so he's back or they're back, she's back. And then it's like the same thing happens again. I can feel them pulling away. I can feel them getting disinterested. Alexis, I don't want this to happen anymore. I'm so mad at myself that I'm creating this. I'm done with this. I'm so frustrated. I'm so effing over it. Okay. Step 2 is you want to engage in positive, unconditionally loving inner conversations with you, and about the whole friggin' thing. I know that it's frustrating. I know that it's irritating. I know that it's like Groundhog Day and it's like, it's happening again. It feels so normal, feels so natural. And that beating ourselves up about a pattern that we know that we're creating is a place a lot of us go. But like, you guys really quiet the mind, be in control of your thoughts and in control how you're labeling it, in control of the meaning that you're giving to the whole thing also, because that's creating, because your thoughts create. We are meaning-making machines as human beings, and we want to give it the meaning of, I'm changing this, I am rectifying this, I'm sorting this through, I am in control of my thoughts, I'm in control of this pattern, I am in control and creating a new pattern, because none of it's happening by chance. None of it is happening as a coincidence. There is not something outside of you or inside of you that is totally against you, that doesn't want you to get it, doesn't want you to have it. Actually, it's the opposite, because your mind is hardwired to keep you in the momentum and in propelling you forwards through sameness. Your mind likes the safety in creating the sameness because it doesn't really know if you've created the pattern of chasing, pursuing in relationships. It just feels normal to your mind. It feels like this is how we do things, right? So that's why thinking new thoughts, talking to your mind in an unconditionally loving and accepting way, talking to the pattern in a loving and unconditionally accepting way is also necessary, because the more that you do this, the more that you resist against it, the more that you get angry, the more you also hold it in place. That's the thing. So to go back, step number 2 is having unconditional acceptance and looking at what's been happening as like data or as information, as like, oh, so this is how I've been doing things. So like this client, right? She would always get anxious and worried and afraid. And I said, okay, so we first of all, instead of, no, I do not want you to do a bunch of affirmations about him. I want you to really think about, and this is step 3, who are you in the ideal scenario? And she said to me, right, something that's kind of like manifestation community, cookie cutter. She said, well, you know, Alexis, like, I'm chosen and I'm adored and I'm pursued. And I said, okay, I'm not asking you, what are the affirmations that you're creating? Who are you really, right? I said, if you are the one who is pursued, who is the love comes towards, right? Like, you are whole and complete within, I've said this in a lot of videos, but you have the safety and security of having it within yourself first, and you're super in control of your thoughts, right? Because if you're super in control of your thoughts and you're thinking the thoughts of, I'm in control of my thoughts create it all, my thoughts create the entire dynamic, then in the moment of anxiety, you won't be running the internal story of, I'm so afraid, this isn't happening, I'm being ghosted, I have to pursue, what's going on? Do they like me? Do they want me? Do they like me? Do they want me? Going into the questioning, worrying, over functioning of your mental faculties about the whole love thing in general. Okay. So I said, yeah, I really want you to think between this session and next session, who are you ideally? And what mindset do you have? What thoughts do you think if you are the one that he pursues and you are the one that he chases and you are the one that he's like calling all the time, messaging all the time, FaceTiming all the time? If that's what you look as pursue as, I said, who are you? Okay. Now, funnily enough, you guys, she didn't write this in as a formal success story. So I don't have like a letter to me to read out loud, but between that session and the next session, she said, okay, Alexis, like, thank you for yelling at me. Thank you for like, she went like this, like slapping me, like, and even though like, I'm not doing this on the camera, right? I'm just always saying, hey, like I have a hairbrush, hold on. This is my white flag. Hold on, time out, right? When people are going on and on and on about their stories that we need to change. She said, thank you for doing that, because between this session and it was 1 week that we had our first session and then second session, she said, yeah, I really investigated who am I, which I've never thought about. No coach has ever asked me, who am I in the scenario, in the reality with him that I'm being chased, being pursued? She's like, I figured out I'm actually not doing very much. I'm thinking thoughts and I'm being the version of me who is like happy, feels beautiful, feels successful in manifesting, is in control of her thoughts, and feels like super grounded and is out of anxiety. She said, I am. And she had like a huge breakthrough moment. And I intend for this to be a breakthrough moment for everyone. Is she said, I'm anxiety free. And I said, interesting. I said, so have you ever been anxiety free once you are interested, once you like, once you love someone, once you pick somebody? I said, tell me ever. She said, no. And I said, yes. Isn't that interesting? Because that's mostly what I see with most people. They've never been able to be the new version of them that therefore creates the relationship that they want within the relationship. You guys, this is so important. If you haven't been creating with your SP what you want, this could be the reason why. There could be other reasons why, because we are all very person specific, but this applies to everybody, I think, in their own way about what makes you anxious, what makes you worried, what makes you chase, what makes you pursue when that's not what you want to do. Now, I also want to say that there are some people who like to chase, who like to pursue, who like to do, the calling, the texting, the heavy lifting, the figuring things out. I am not trying to say that everybody watching the video wants to be pursued and wants to be chased, but it is a common theme I see with people who are recreating relationships. But I also want to say too, as a caveat to the chasing and pursuing, I am not saying that you need to sit at home on your fingers and do nothing, and that in the ideal relationship scenario, you're doing nothing, even if you are pursued and you are chased. Like, you kind of want to think you're still doing some things, but like you're reciprocity focused, or you're like, oh yeah, let's go there. That sounds great to me. Or thank you so much for calling. I'm calling back. Hey, what's going on? Texting back. Yeah, I saw your 5 text messages. I'm great. How are you? Okay. So it's not to go to say that the person who is pursued and chased and treated like a queen, or all those common phrases, is doing nothing. But you want to be thinking, what am I thinking in this scenario about me in regards to my specific person? Because this is the thing. It is very hard for us to think, they chase me, they pursue me, they want me, they love me, they're all about me all the time, they're blowing up my phone, they call me 24/7, all they think about is me. I am the first thing that they think about in the morning, in the afternoon, and the night. I am the first thing that they think about when they open their eyes in the morning. It is very hard for us to wrap our mind around those affirmations, those thoughts, if we do not think that we are enough, that we are deserving, that we are secure and safe within ourselves, that we have a stable peace of mind, and therefore in control of our thoughts. Okay. So you got to get a hold of your thoughts about you within the scenario and figure it out and decide. And like, if you need help, I can help you figure it out. Who are you in that ideal reality? Who are you as that ideal self? And then we affirm for who you want to be, who you're deciding that you are, and then you stick to it. Okay, I have some notes. So we've gone over how to manifest being chased, adored, pursued. It all comes to you. Okay. Now, the other thing about the anxiety and the fear is, instead of being like, I don't want this anymore, I'm so mad about it, I'm so angry, instead be thinking, no, I am in control of this whole thing now because I am in control of my thoughts. Therefore, there is no reason to be super anxious, super worried, super afraid, because all of that creates. If you're anxious, worried, afraid, you're thinking anxious thoughts, you're thinking insecure thoughts, you're thinking your thoughts are out of control in the moment. So all you have to do is plan to be in control of your thoughts when anxiety rears its ugly head, and that you can manifest and persist through that, like I had this client do. So did I say that in between week 1 and week 2, she figured out, like after 3 days, she said, okay, I gave this thought over and over again. You said to let myself marinate on who am I in the ideal relationship. And I said, yeah. And she said, so then by day 4, he began to do things he had never done before. He was chasing, pursuing, calling, texting. She said, he also invited me to a friend's party that's in 2 weekends with friends I've always wanted to meet. She said, so what did I do that did that? She said, because I can't even figure it out. And I said, yeah, well, what you did is that you got in control of your thoughts about you. And then therefore you release the resistance to it happening. All the affirmations, all the thoughts that you've been thinking, therefore went out into your reality. The thing is, you guys, if we have a lot of anxiety and like a buffer around us of fear, worry, projecting it into the future, oh my God, when this happens again, oh my God, I'm so mad at myself about this. it kind of keeps your thoughts at bay about your SP. So that's what resistance really is like, you're like, oh, I'm so worried, I'm so afraid. So like the thoughts that we are trying to send out, because your thoughts create and your thoughts transmit, they don't transmit. They kind of like, as an analogy, they stay here, like in your energy field. They don't, because you're kind of holding them here. I intend this makes sense. I'm trying to use an analogy about energy, you know, to get the point across, but you get more into the place of, I am the creator. This is my reality. My thoughts create. When you're out of anxiety, out of worry, out of fear, and just by thinking on purpose, I'm in control of my thoughts. I'm living anxiety free. I am the creator of my reality. This is my relationship. Okay. And saying that a lot to yourself will also get you out of anxiety. So we developed for her a personal mantra that was similar to that, where she could really, really, really be the one who was creating. Because you came here into this body to create your reality, to create and recreate your relationships, to create what you want. It's your birthright that you are the creator and the epicenter of it all. So like, you guys, there's nothing to be anxious of anymore. There isn't anything to be afraid of. There isn't anything to be super, super worried about. Now we have fight, flight, freeze as a mechanism in our human body and our human mind that is there from prehistoric times to keep us safe. It is not to say that you shouldn't be afraid and worried about like a hurricane, volcano disruption if you live like in a tropical place, or you should not be afraid if you hear of something that's like a catastrophic thing or something that deals with your physical safety. But what we want to stop being afraid of is relationships and love, in this case, of other people presenting something and doing something to us that we feel so out of control about. This video is totally going off on tangents, becoming something else, something I hadn't intended. But I intend, and I am manifesting that it all makes sense, okay? Because this is so key to everything. It's your self-concept, essentially, of who are you in love? Who are you choosing to be? Who are you affirming you are? Who are you being? Who are you thinking you are? And then what's happening? Because you're the epicenter of it all. So like this client, I said, okay, so do you understand what to do moving forwards for the next week whenever I see you next? She said, I mean, I think so, but like now it's happening naturally. And I said, yes. So I want you to keep on persisting in the thoughts of, I'm in control of my thoughts. I'm living anxiety free. I am manifesting and creating my relationship. I am in control of this. This is all still happening. And like, I've had some clients who have had emergency situations with their specific person recently. I want to say too, if that's you, like you've created or you're in the middle of it and it looks like a dire situation, let's do the same thing for you and say, I'm in control of my thoughts. I'm in control of this whole scenario. It's happening. I'm creating it all. And we are on the other side of this whole situation. I have moved through it. We're staying together. We're better than ever. Okay. These are some general things without going into details. I don't really have time in the video usually to go into so many details. I try to make this quick, but still ends up taking some time. So you guys, answer is 2, manifest being pursued, manifest being chased. I don't like the term chased because that could mean that someone chases you around the house. Your reality is literal. So it's listening to what meaning and what does chased mean. But what you probably want, if you've been calling it that, is you want to be pursued. You want to have the love coming towards you and have like the security that you're in the relationship and that it's all happening and that you don't have to question, doubt, and wonder, do they love me? Do they like me? Are we together? Am I this? Okay. But that all comes from you. And it's, what are you thinking? What are you deciding? Thinking, I am enough, right? I am in control of my thoughts. I am living anxiety free in love and relationships and doing that on repeat. If you go back and listen to all these intentions, saying each of them 3 times, all throughout the day. The mental diet, I've done so many videos about this, you guys, but the mental diet is not checking in with your thoughts a couple times a day. The mental diet is not trying to keep the mind clear. The mental diet is, what are you affirming? What are you thinking on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, using the front part of your mind to influence your subconscious mind so the movie you see projects differently. That's what's going on, right? So you really want to think of these thoughts like 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, saying 4 basic thoughts like this to yourself on repeat, repeat, repeat. It can be that simple. So defining for you, who am I in my ideal scenario? Who am I manifesting them to be? This is what's happening. This is what's going on. It's my year. I am manifesting that once and for all, I am valuable. I am worthy. I am magnetic. I am enough. I am chaste. I am pursued. I am adored. In love. Use the word chaste if you want. People seem to, no matter what I say. So there, I said it again. All right, you guys, that's my video for today. Please reference this when you get anxious, when you get worried, when the mind tries to tell you so many things are happening that are getting you into anxiety, worry, and fear. What I had written down too is be determined to persist in that new you. Be determined to persist in the version of you that is anxiety free, that can allow love to come to them, and that can have it all, right? Because you can. It's your reality. It's your relationship. The only thing that's creating it is your mind, conscious mind, subconscious mind. That's what's manifesting it, which means it's 1,000% possible for you to create this. So if you want my one-on-one guidance and help, you can book a session and I can give you my thorough guidance on your exact situation, because everyone's situation is different. And I intend the best for you, still creating the best 2024 as we are in January still. Can you believe it? And there is the whole year left for you to create exactly what you want. All right, you guys, so go out, celebrate yourself, make today awesome, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.